What's going on, people? Welcome back to the match reaction. Palace 2, Wolves 1. We did it. We did it in the end. We're going to discuss everything related to the game. As always, we want to hear from you. We'll be posting a link where you guys can join via audio or video to have your say on the game. And you can leave a comment down below as well. If you do enjoy it, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to not miss out on future content. Gents, we got there in the end. After being 1-0 down, 2-1 win. I'll start off with you, Patrick. It wasn't the easiest of games. We've had easier games against Wolves. They brought it to us, especially in the first half. But what did you make of the game?
Thought we started well, first 30 minutes, and then disappointing goal to give up. We'll get into details of that later with Olise falling asleep and then Mitchell falling asleep at the back post. Great to come out second half and get that goal right away. It was massive to get that goal. He really just changed the whole outlook of the side. And then, like Lee, he just put pressure till Zaha scored. So, great result. Because, I mean, at this point in the season, we talked about it, we talked about it last couple of shows we've done. Needed to win. 7 out of 9 is a really good. I know we're disappointed about the Leicester game, but honestly, an away point was vital. And we got now 7 out of 9, we're up to 10th place. No, man, things looking up really good. I mean, and again, I was very critical of the players at halftime, but credit to them because that was not a good first half performance after the goal, but they really sorted themselves out. Same players came out. Obviously, Vieira changed the system. We'll talk about that too, but no, it was a really good win. Very vital win.
Stan, look, we got the win in the end. It was the most comfortable one, but we'll move up the table to 10th. And now we're only, of course, there's games in hands with other teams, but we're only 3 points. I'm not saying we're going to finish it, but we're only 3 points off 5th. We can look up.
2 points off 6th. So 2 points off 6th. Yeah.
Exactly. That's massive for us going into the Everton game. And, you know, we got there in the end, but it wasn't the greatest of starts. Let's talk about the starting lineup. I was very happy because Olise started, and it's no surprise. Olise starts. We get the win. He gets an assist. We'll talk about the goal that we conceded. Make it fair. We get the win. He gets an assist, and we score 2 goals. I don't know if that's a coincidence after what we saw against Leicester. Patrick, jump in because I was going to ask.
I'm laughing because honestly, that first half display by him, he was not great going forward, and he had to go up that. He was going against a kid that was like 19 years old, Bueno. And and
to be fair, Bueno was good for them. He was good.
No, I know, but he's young. And then secondly, on that goal, he fell asleep. He fell asleep on that run by. Is it Bueno? Yeah, I guess Bueno made the cross to Troy for the goal. You can't do that. Now, people want to criticize Ward for being poor. That's not Ward's man. Okay. That's a fullback getting forward. So yes, yes, he did a great job second half, but the first half he was not very good.
You know what? All right, cool, Patrick. Before I go back to you, Patrick, he was good in the first half. Going forward, was Wilf good? He was good.
I didn't say they were, but they didn't cause a goal to be good.
Yeah, but you're just...
No. You got to be fair. No. You like Olise, and I like it too. You got to criticize the player who makes a mistake. And don't talk about how Wolf played or Edward. No. Olise caused the goal to be scored. You can't say how
and he caused the goal to be scored. Yeah, you're right. He caused the goal to be scored because he got an assist. You're right. And we won a game with him on the pitch.
You know, you're ridiculous. So you cannot be that biased. You've got to be fair. He had a bad first half. He did. Okay. But he made up in the second half. So that's it. Stan, no, I'm not having that. No, that's not fair. It's not fair.
Stan, we've also opened up the line so you guys can join and have your say as well. Stan, what did you make of the first half? Look, we conceded a goal. To be fair, we could have conceded a goal much earlier on. Diego Costa missed a massive chance for Vicente saved that, how you see it. And it wasn't great once again, but what do you think it is about the first half versus the second half? Because it's always the same things that we see over and over again in games.
We just don't start well, I don't think. I think we were very, very flat. I know, obviously, Patrick's saying, obviously, Olise responsible for the goal, which obviously, he definitely lost his man. He was sort of, half asleep. I'd say that. But I just think that we were very, very flat in the first half. Honestly, like, if you think about it, Costa puts that chance away. Then you've got the one that they did put away, and then Neves hit the post like last kick of the first half. I mean, they could have been out of sight by half time, right? So
thank you, Stan. That's fair. Very fair.
We weren't. We weren't at the races. Very needless free kick to give away at the end of the first half. But listen, we rode our luck a little bit. But you know what? We did have some chances. Decore hit the post. We got in behind them a couple of times as well. So I think we were. I think it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, really. But we were very flat first half. Decore got booked needlessly again. Like, he did not need to get booked there, and we're really going to miss him on Saturday at Everton.
Nah, it was a good run, and plus, from what I saw, I'm not too sure if it was a foul. The referee. Let's not talk about the referee today, but the referee, because we won, we're not going to talk about him. But the referee was shit. Let's just be fairly.
You know what? Like,
I did not like him. Maybe you saw it else differently in the second half, but look, there's other things that we can talk about. And quickly, now that we mentioned Olise and about the first goal that we conceded, first of all, I don't know where Woody was. He was crazy central and he left that right hand side open.
You're right.
And second of all, if we want to criticize Olise for the first half, second half, I want to hear praises as well, because second half he was fucking back.
100%. 100%.
And this is what I'm tired, because this is how agendas get built. One mistake, cool, I hear it. You can argue one mistake. Then again, you could talk about the far post. He was marking Adama Traore in the far post.
I said Mitchell too. You're not listening to me. No, D, it's not agenda. It's being fair. No, it's about being fair. You're not being fair. You like Olise, which is great, but you don't criticize him. You got to be fair. That's what I'm saying.
Can I make a point?
That's what I'm saying.
Can I make a point?
One mistake. That's
Can
what
I make
I'm criticizing when it comes to. Yeah, go on, Stan.
About Olise. Olise has to grow into games. We've seen it. He's not an impact sub. He's not really. He has to start games. He has to grow into them. He was excellent in the second half. You know, he come on, I think, what did he play? Like, he played 80 minutes in total. Come on, 10 minutes, but come off 10 minutes before the end. He was excellent. He was, and yeah. So, like I said.
The lines are open. Let's have people on because it's late on the night. We'll talk about our opinions for the game. There's lots to talk about as the show goes on. Let's bring on Henry first and foremost. Henry, Palace 2, Wolves 1. Massive win. What did you make of the game?
Yeah, I think we started off pretty decent, pretty well. And then when we conceded that goal, definitely the players, it knocked their confidence a lot. But, I mean, we were just a completely different side in the second half, I thought. And, I mean, Olise I think he's a really important player for us, because he always seems to deliver the ball into great areas and provide assists that get us goals. And it was a beautiful cross for Eze, who scored again. And then Wilf's goal was brilliant, and it was just that was the result of pressure. And second half we didn't look scared to attack, and we actually managed to have a sustained period of pressure, which was great to see. So yeah, it's a huge result, and I'm delighted we managed to win.
Yeah, from you mentioned Eze there, you mentioned Wilf there. I think in the second half, that tactical switch from Vieira to put Wilf into more central areas,
absolutely.
Massively. But do you think that should be the case going forward? Do you want to see Wilf in more central areas? Because it's been 2 games now where we saw against Leicester, who's playing out wide. He wasn't really as effective as he was. And then in this game, in the second half, he went central. And, once again, he showed himself. Do you think going forward now, you want to see Wilf in more central areas, or it just depends on how the game is going?
I mean, I think it obviously depends on the opposition. And he can be effective on the wing as well. But absolutely, I agree with you. And I was saying the same thing, actually, that when Wilf went into a more central role, he looked so much more threatening. And that just created a lot of problems for Wolves. And they suddenly had to sort of change the way that they defended. So, yeah, I'd like to see it more going forward, for sure, because I feel like Wilf, with the way he plays now, maybe in certain games like this one tonight, moving him in the middle is a better option for us.
Yeah, going into the next game, Decore is going to be out because of that yellow card. He's picked up 5 yellow cards.
It's a shame.
Do you see Vieira playing ahead of him? Because once again, he was immense. The only problem with him is his yellow cards. If he can take that out of his game, it would be massive.
Yeah, I thought he was immense. He was fantastic tonight. He nearly even scored when he hit the post in the first half, but. We're going to miss him against Everton, I think. I can't see Vieira picking anyone else apart from Luca. I don't really agree with that, but I just think that will happen. I think Riedeveld maybe could play there.
I think Will Hughes could get the nod.
Or even, I was thinking Will Hughes, but I think he's ill at the moment. I don't know if he's going to be back for the Everton match or not. If he is, then I'd probably put him in there. But yeah, like, it was a really big win tonight, you know. We needed to bounce back from Leicester. We got 7 points from 9 now. So it's looking good right now. And, you know, we needed to get some points. So long may it continue.
3 unbeaten as well, isn't it? So
yep, 3 unbeaten.
3 unbeaten as well.
2 home wins on the bounce. You know, as sometimes, you know, as much as there are areas of improvement, of course there is, but you can see that we're moving in the right direction. And I think we just need to, you know, iron out those mistakes a bit more. And hopefully we can do that as the season progresses and get better and stronger.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Look, Henry, thank you for coming on the show. It's always great to talk to you.
Cheers, lads.
Hopefully we can get a result against Everton. I'll speak to you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you. That was Henry. You guys can also join and have your say by clicking on the pinned comment to join via audio or video, whatever works best for you. Talk about whatever about the game. What did you like? What didn't you like? Let us know. Let us know. Next up, we're going to bring on AJ. Hopefully he's ready. AJ?
Hey.
Yes, guys. Yes.
Palace 2, Wolves 1, bro. We've done it. We managed to do a comeback after a poor start.
10th place, man. 10th place, man. It was an all right game, man. Got a few points, man. Right. So we started the game like absolutely dominated them, but obviously we kind of just lost essentially concentration and towards the end of the first half. Stan kind of put his money on it. They could have been gone in that little sort of 10-15 minute spell towards the end of the first half. They could have destroyed us. They hit the post. We started looking a bit lackluster. I will defend Olise a little bit because essentially that little man that was running down the wing, Podence, who was supposed to be playing right back, who is not doing their job. Because when they were attacking us at that point, I'm looking on the pitch and I'm seeing Joe Ward, who's supposed to be the right back, in centre midfield, running his ass back.
Thank you.
AJ. No, wait. You're right. No, you're right. But Bueno's not his man, though. Bueno's not Ward's man. That's Olise's man.
Podence's man Ward is right. Podence's man. Exactly. Podence is the left attacking midfielder. That means right back, Joe Ward.
He didn't cross the ball.
But Patrick, at the end of the day, man, you're supposed to be covering your man and covering your positions, man.
I understand it, but that's not his man who crossed the ball. You can't. That's not fair. That's a Ward agenda. That's not fair.
However,
I'm not too sure what you saw. Sorry, AJ. I'm not too sure what you saw on the TV, but maybe I don't know if the camera was. But Wardy was. So
I saw Ward get sucked in. I saw him get sucked out of position. That's not his man.
Okay, cool. Let AJ finish. Cool.
It's not fair.
No, that's cool. Like, however, Mitchell should have been aware of Traore behind him anyway.
Agree, totally. I totally agree.
It was literally the only thing.
Mitchell is also at fault because when the ball came over him, it's kind of like he just sort of stood there, expecting to kind of go behind, and he thought he was going to turn and be able to clear the ball. So Mitchell's also at fault there, but that little man on the wing, bro, should not have had that kind of space and that kind of time to be able to sprint and take so many yards. So for me, the way I'm looking at it is Joe Ward's at fault there because he should have been.
When you watch it again, you'll see it's not him. I'm telling you.
I was there, bro.
I know, but you have to watch it again. You have to watch it again, though. I'm telling you, you can't put that on Ward. It's just not fair. We can give
let's move on from this topic because we've talked about it enough already about Olise. We'll talk about it in more detail, I'm pretty sure, in coming days. But AJ, you was at the ground as well. I was there as well. I don't know. I was a bit confused because I got a message later on saying that we got lucky that Wolves didn't have a penalty. Did you see it?
Nah. I've seen the replay. Essentially, it was basically like. There's an argument to suggest it could have been a penalty, but it was one of them ones where there wasn't really much Gay could have done anyway. It was just one of them ones. Yes, it is a ball to hand, and I know the rules have changed.
Actually, AJ, it actually hit his knee. They showed one replay in his hand, but they showed different replay showing his knee.
I'm not buying that.
Yeah,
I'm not buying any of that, to be fair. But it was beautiful, and D can confirm this because when Wolves scored, their fans were on some hella crud and they were hella loud, man. But we stuck behind the team today. We kept cheering on the lads. The atmosphere was great tonight as well. So, especially when we pulled back that equaliser, geez, man, it was... The second half was like... It was a game of two halves, essentially. The second half, we were so much better. Like, in comparison to the Leicester game, chances created, the rotation of the attack. That's one thing I also wanted to bring up, the rotation of the attackers. So, at one point, obviously in the first half, everyone was kind of stuck in set position. So you had Edouard in the centre. Olise was kind of getting starved on the right-hand side. He was like, you weren't there. He wasn't really getting the ball enough. They kept playing the ball behind him. Wilf wasn't really getting the ball enough and being able to create enough opportunities. And he was getting taken out by Semedo. And I don't know who the number 6 is for Wolves, but how that brother did not get a red card today, I don't know. The referee.
The other Traore.
Yeah, so I was at it, right. So the referee today, I mean, the standard of refereeing in the Premier League is poor right now. And today was a classic example. Their players were taking us out left, right, and centre. And it's like he was allergic to the cards in his pocket. As soon as we do one tackle, cards out straight away. I don't know what this ref was on today. He was doing a bag of madness. But going back to the rotation of our attackers, it worked in the second half so well. And that even goes against my belief because I'm still not quite sold on Wilf playing down the centre. However, we created a lot more opportunities when we rotated the front 3 forwards. So at one point, he just kept switching around. When Wilf came in the centre, he was a lot more creative and he was able to create a lot more opportunities. And then Edouard kind of switched to the left at one point. Then they switched it around a lot more. So it's good to see that my manager's got a few tricks up his sleeve still, you know what I mean? And he's giving them a little bit of freedom to do and enable them to be able to sort of change it up. And it works for us today. So I'm happy, man. It is a shame about Doucouré because for me, he was the man of the match today. That man kept working. His tackles and work rate is something else, man. And essentially, he's doing the job of 2 people in some of these games. And what a signing, mate. I'll tell you what, I'm starting to believe in the hype of Doucouré, man. He was brilliant today.
How much was 18 million? He was quality. That some of those
honestly,
tackles
when we signed
he was on a
Doucouré,
booking as well. Some of those tackles second half.
Exactly.
When we
because he was on the booking, and I thought, shit, he's going to take him off. But actually, he kept pressing. He kept breaking up their play when they were attacking. Because let's be honest, Wolves have very, what's the word? They have very creative, tricky players. Exactly. They have very, very tricky players. And a lot of them on the ball are very, very comfortable. Doucouré weren't having none of that. He weren't there for that. He was just taking man out left, right, and centre, even after the yellow card. He's a Rolls Royce of a centre midfielder, mate. I tell you, what a player.
100%.
Neves for them plays in the middle, right? I think like apart from the free kick, like Neves did nothing all game, and I think Doucouré and Schlupp just kept him quiet. You know.
You know why? He kept dropping deep, then pick up the ball off the back 4. He was playing deep line playmaker. So he was playing deep, and he was allowing the other players to get more forward. You know, so. But
that's true, Stan. But towards the end of the game, there were a few chances where it was looking a bit sticky. Like there was a few opportunities towards the end that I thought he was just going to pepper in from like 30 yards, which is what in it.
Yeah.
And it was good that we held them at bay. Our 2 centre backs did their jobs today, man. They gave me a heart attack.
They were very good today. Anderson and Costa were brilliant today. He was brilliant with Costa today. He really was.
Anderson bullied him a bit, didn't he?
It was fantastic. It was great. It was brilliant. He was so good today. And really
AJ, going into the next game against Everton, it's not going to be easy. We're going to be missing Doucouré there. But are you confident now that we could maybe get another win? It's not easy ground to go to, but it's now important for us to be consistent with these wins. It's not good to take 1 step forward and 1 step back.
Good question, actually. Everton's a weird one for me because every day Frank Lampard's in the mud makes me feel a little bit better, and I've got to be honest. But it's like he's found a little bit. It's like he's found a little bit of. They got a bit of form, haven't they? And Iwobi is the one that I worry about, and it's a shame because Doucouré would have been the perfect antidote to deal with and cope with it.
Right.
It depends how we. The thing is, I don't know what Vieira's plan B is to Doucouré. I mean, we've seen him sub on Luka. But does Luka have 90 minutes concentration for a Premier League game against a club like Everton because it's the way at Goodison Park as well?
Right.
I'm worried a little bit. Like the fact that we don't have
struggles on a 20-minute cameo sometimes, doesn't he? So
Nah. Be fair, this year he's been all right, man. He's been all right this year, man. He's been doing his job.
He's had his games. He's had his games. But then again, playing for 90 minutes is something else. He's been good coming off the bench. But look, we're going to be talking about that in a match preview in more detail. AJ, thank you, bro, for coming on. Always a pleasure talking to you. And hopefully,
take it easy, boy.
Hopefully, we can get that win.
Nice one, AJ, mate.
Yeah, get the win, man. Get that European tour on. Let's go.
Come on.
Come on, baby. Come on.
I was thinking about as well. I was thinking about bringing
Oh my
the
God. I love AJ, man. I love AJ.
Let's not get carried away.
These lads are booking their flights.
Yeah, I was thinking
Bro, my
about
passport's renewed. Don't worry about it. My passport's there, man. It's ready. Annual leave next year. Don't watch it.
Exactly, bro. We'll go together, man. We'll go together. Just let.
Yeah, man. Defo. But you guys take it easy, man. And yeah, up the palace. Let's go.
Up
the palace. Thank you. That was AJ. Next up, we got CJ coming on. CJ, Palace 2, Wolves 1. How? It's a weird one because when I was watching the game in the first half to the second half, it was like just complete opposites. As the second half was what I expect how to play under Vieira. First half was just absolutely shambles. CJ, what did you make of the first half versus the second half? Was you as surprised as I am? Because at this point, it's becoming a joke. Second half, we just turn up. First half, we're just sleeping.
Well, we always concede. When we concede first, we always win. Well, we tend to win. So, but we weren't quick enough in the first half. Slow. We was didn't really create much apart from a few. The best chance was probably Decore's shot, and that would have been goal of the season. But it was just slow. I feel like we were just getting pressured. We were on the back foot. It was just we're just second best really. It was really, really frustrating. Because we were at home, so I was expecting us to come out quicker than we did. I didn't think we were terrible first half, but we could have been 3-0 down. So we got lucky. So
exactly. Well, look, they had their chances. I don't think we were as bad as we were against Leeds. But we still weren't good enough. Right. We still weren't good enough.
We were just flat.
Could be much better.
We were just very flat.
Yeah.
DJ, do you think it's a case of, it might sound wild, but is it a case of Vieira is, well, we talk about game management, and I was going to say late goals, but is he such a good game manager at times, especially tactically? From what he sees in the first half, we just massively improved the second half. But the way we set up games, what do you think it is that is causing us to start slow? Because for once, fair enough. Twice, cool. But it's happening constantly. We start slow, but we get into it. Do you think it's just the tactics and, Vieira just, after seeing how it goes, he just figures it out and we're not good enough to start the games? Or is it the players? What is it?
I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if the other we let the other team pressure us and then they get into the game and then we go on the back foot. Because, the first 10, 20 minutes, I didn't think we were terrible. But, I don't know if it's a lack of confidence. I don't know. I'm not sure. We had the same problem last season as well. I'm really not sure. But Vieira must have put... I wonder what his team talks are like. I'd love to be in there.
Yeah, I would love to. Exactly. Because at half-time, the way the players come out, it's like, cool, it's time to wake up. But then why don't you wake up in the first half? I don't know if it's tactics. I don't know if it's... We could see late minute goals and last minute goals, and we're talking about game management poor. Just why do we start first half? I'm not too sure. But one player that did start today, Olise, that was the only change from the Leicester game. What did you think of his performance? Because of course we were discussing it earlier on in the show with the first goal conceding it. Maybe he could have done a bit better. But then again, he gets the assist. We scored 2 goals. We score once again with him on the pitch. Patrick is laughing because he's thinking his agendas
are funny. That's why it's okay.
I don't think it's agendas. I think
it is.
It's just
You got to be fair. You're not being fair, but that's okay.
All right, okay, cool. Well, CJ, what did you think about Olise's performance?
Oh, it was a game of two halves for him as well, as it was like for a lot of our players. I think he got like his position for the goal we conceded. He was absolutely nowhere. Wall gets caught. It's both of their fault because Wall gets caught, and should do better. Olise is just sprinting up the pitch to try and get back. And we end up conceding the goal, which is good header, but oh god, but it's just a poor goal to concede. You need to he's so good at going forward. He's just
on that goal. Sorry, CJ, just to touch on it. Guaita, okay. So I was like, he's been beaten at his near post, but Patrick obviously corrected me, and I thought Guaita had an excellent game today, by the way. Apart from that, but do you think that he could have done more? You think just the header was too much of a bullet header? And
I think he got a lot of power on the header. I have to watch it again to see if he could have done better. But yeah, I'm not sure. I think VG had a good game again.
Yeah.
I think I think we might need to maybe see what Sam Johnston's like in the cup games coming up. But I didn't think he was at fault really.
Yeah, I actually thought he was excellent today. Excellent.
Yeah, he was last game as well. So I can't really I can't fault him, to be honest though.
A player that we haven't mentioned all show long, 27 minutes gone by, Edouard. He gets an assist today. For that Wilf goal. Well, it's good that he's got this. It's good that he's got this confidence now because we're seeing it more consistently where he plays even against Leicester. Even though it was a very bad game from us going forward, the only shot on target was Edouard's, special with his feet. And once again in this game, he gets an assist for Wilf. But what have you made of Edouard's progress so far this season compared to last season? Because it seemed like he's getting more comfortable under Vieira's system.
Yeah, he's improved. His hold-up play's got a lot better. He's just really, really improved from last season. He looks a lot more confident. And the goal, was it the Leeds goal where Olise puts that ball and he just gets his head on it. I'll trust him to do that more than Mateta, to be honest. I think he's got a lot better. I think it's a big difference coming from the Scottish League to here because the teams, there's a lot more competition, isn't there? So, he's improved a lot. And he's a starter for me.
So looking ahead to the next game, Everton, the Corey's not going to be there, which is going to be a massive miss. How are you feeling after this win? Of course, we started slow. We can't really do the same when you're playing away from home. Do you have a bit of confidence due to how we played in the second half?
Kind of.
Come on, CJ. Come on, be positive.
Oh my God.
Come on, CJ.
For midfield, I've been saying we're light in midfield, and now
we're lighter.
The player who the player who runs the midfield is out. And now who are we going to play in midfield? I'd say Gyro is probably a better starter than Luca, in my opinion. But it's
gonna be interesting talking point. Spoiler alert: in a match preview that we're going to record probably tomorrow, that's going to be a good talking point. Who's going to start in midfield? Because today in midfield, even in the first half. Look, Schlupp, we haven't talked about him in the show, but
invisible. He was invisible.
He was very poor today. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's what we're not really talking about. We're lucky we won. That's why we're not really talking about it. But look, CJ, thank you for coming on. Pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Thanks, CJ.
Thank you.
Cheers.
See you soon.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Out of CJ, next up we got Rich from Eagle Dad Football. Rich, Palace 2, Wolves 1.
Rich.
We win the game in the end. What did you make of it, Rich? It wasn't the greatest of starts, even though it wasn't as bad as Leeds. But in the second half, a few adjustments here and there, and we managed to get a win.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I think we controlled the game throughout, personally, and such. I just think first half we just played too slow, far too slow. The balls weren't going forward quick enough. Our wingers weren't attacking the fullbacks. We're like passing the ball backwards a lot and such. And it was crazy because obviously Decore hit the post. About a minute or two later, Costas had that chance.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what is this? This is going to be end to end. But then we were still dominating possession, and they've scored against the run of play. Terrible goal to concede positionally. I feel like our fullbacks tucked in too much. Olise obviously couldn't make the ground back. It's a great cross from Kinder Bueno, by the way.
It was.
You know what? I said he was good for them today, though, wasn't he? He was.
He played well, yeah. He played well. And yeah, just obviously hearing your question about VG earlier, I don't think there's anything he could have done about that. You know, but it's just typical Palace. Like Wolves haven't scored an away goal in how long? Don't worry, we'll give you one. Adama Traore scores like one goal every 10 seasons. Don't worry, Adama. There you go.
And it's always against us. We always bring it back to like we give him that confidence, man. I don't know what it is, but it's typical Palace. But look, in the second half, there were adjustments, and we saw Will play more centrally, and that's how we got more involved. Would you like to see that more from the start going forward? Because it's been 2 games in a row that Wilf has played out wide, and you can tell that Vieira's told him stick out wide, and he hasn't really been as effective as he has been when he goes to central areas.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's losing his legs. I wonder if he's losing his legs because he rarely beats his man anymore.
I don't know, man.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
Right.
The reason why
he gets doubled a lot, man.
Yeah,
he's getting doubled
when it's pushed out wide, they send 2-3 players on him, and he doesn't have the freedom. Whereas when it's in central areas, we saw it today.
He was brilliant.
They were literally, you know the funniest thing about it? They were literally trying to foul him.
Right,
and they still couldn't.
Yep.
There was 3 of them in the second half, and they were trying to get the ball off him. He just spun out. Boom.
And I think the reason is if you give him the freedom playing through central areas, which he did get in the second half, he's more effective because he's not just out on the right. They can't pick him up like that, and he causes problems because
he was brilliant when he tucked in. And as a fair play to him, like to make that back post run, you know, for the goal, he deserved another goal. The performances are picking up. It's just his output needs to improve, and it's starting to get there. So hopefully he can continue with that and such. But Decore, oh my gosh, we're gonna miss him
massively. That midfield gone like that with Decore out of it because today, in all honesty, I know we won the game, but today we can have that conversation about apart from Decore, maybe Eze in the second half was good. There was that one player that wasn't that great in midfield. And then when you take Decore out of it, it's a bit worrying because Everton's got some decent midfielders. They got Iwobi, who's turned into a midfielder.
Idrissa Gueye.
Yeah, Idrissa Gueye, who's also there.
Nana has started off really well.
Exactly. I think it's going to be a massive miss going into the next game, and it kind of sucks the confidence out of me a bit, even though we won today. But, you know, talking about the next game against Everton, how are you feeling? Would you like any changes? Well, there has to be that one change. Do you think Luka comes and starts?
We need to change formation. We need to play 2 6s in that game, I think, and just leave Eze as a 10. I don't think, because obviously Decore can cover. He's doing too much work in the midfield, in my personal opinion, anyway.
Right. He really is.
But he's got the legs for it. Whether it's, I don't know if Hughes will be back from his illness, but in Luka, Gyro, Schlapp.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good for us.
Not at all.
We can laugh today, but it's not looking good for us with that Everton game with all the names I mentioned. Fair enough, Luke has been good coming off the bench, and Gyro, he's had his spell there. But when you talk about 90 minutes against Everton midfielders who've been solid, look, midfielders always been an issue, and you take out a best midfielder, it will be a problem. It will be a problem going forward.
Who's going to dominate that midfield, though? Because, like, Onana and your man Gay, they will dominate us. Like, if we don't get...
That's what I'm saying.
You guys give Everton way too much credit. They're not that good. They're not that good. They're not that good. They're not that good, sis. I'm sorry. They're not that good. We're giving them weight. Listen, Decore is a massive miss, but they're not... Come on. You just say Iwobi. Are you serious? In midfield, he's a winger for one thing, moving into midfield.
I know, but
doing well. But come on, no. Let's not. Come on. We're not playing Liverpool or Man City. It's Everton. Seriously,
okay.
calm down.
I personally feel like this is your agenda. When we talk about agendas, this is your agenda. You don't like Everton.
I agree. I have a agenda against Lampard, but at least I admit mine. I'm honest.
Yeah.
You're not honest. I'm honest about mine.
Yeah, Lampard's a terrible coach.
Yeah, Lampard, I can't stand Lampard personally.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Look, but it won't be easy. I don't think it'll be easy again. Rich,
I didn't say it's gonna be easy. I said they're not that good. I didn't say it's gonna be easy.
Rich, how do you see it going?
I think we can get that back line, you know. If we play like how we did the second half today, I think we can go and score a couple goals.
That's that big if though. We don't. It's recently.
That's the thing. We don't do it often.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
You know what? We do it in one half. We do it one half.
Yeah.
So we don't
Second
do
half
90 minutes,
FC.
which away from home, it might be a bigger problem. At home, we're behind the players. In the second half, we scored that early goal. And by the way, I haven't said this, but if we don't score that goal as early as we did in the second half, I don't know if we win that game. I really don't. I feel like it set the tone fantastic.
You know
away
what?
From home, go on, Stan.
Their two centre backs, Tarkowski and Cody, have been all right, but like if they're coming up against Zaha, Edouard, Olise, Eze, we're gonna cause them problems.
3-0 Palace. I'm calling it right now. 3-0 Palace. Watch.
Boy, 3-0 Palace.
I'm calling it right now.
I'm not too sure if I'm that confident.
Okay, I don't care. I'm 3-0 Palace. Watch.
I
want all apologies in the chat. I want apologies to all of you guys calling me out.
All right,
Agenda FC.
We haven't.
I want to apologize to all of you guys. 3-0 Palace.
I was going to say 1-0 Palace, but
we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it in the match preview. We saw a show for that. Calm down. But Rich, are you as confident as Patrick is then?
Yeah, I think we'll beat them. Yes, it's a shame with that middle of the park, but I think we've still got enough to beat them. I mean, they got Yeah. I think that's going to spur us on. I think that's the one thing that's going to spur us on, the fact that we dropped a 2-goal lead
last year. Yep.
I want Vieira to be like a player manager in this game. If we're winning like 2-0, I want him to come on in the 88th minute and just
register himself Friday.
Exactly. Just register him before. And normally Sunday league, you have to register before Tuesday.
You know what was great to see today? Diego Costa clashed. Kind of went into Vieira and I gave him a hug. He's like,
you know what? Anderson owned him a bit though, Costa. Like, I know he got
Anderson's been brilliant. Yeah,
he owned him today, and they subbed him off, didn't they? Because like Anderson was giving it to him and whatever, and they were like, no.
Then he shook his hand after that, which was nice.
He did.
I think Wolves' biggest mistake was taking Adama Traore.
Rich, spot on, man. It was.
I don't think he did that much apart from scoring his goal.
It was the threat.
It was a presence. I'll give him that.
The presence, yeah.
Yeah, the presence, yeah.
Because we were always thinking, Wolves on the break.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. He ran against Mitchell as well. But look, we didn't quickly before you go. We didn't talk about Mitchell today. We talked about him last game. He got subbed off. We were talking about whether it was injury or
I'm worried about him.
You're still worried about him after this game?
I'm worried. Yeah.
Well, how comes?
I'm worried. He just doesn't. He must be carrying something. He just doesn't look confident. You know,
he's a bit knackered from last year.
It could be even fatigue. Yeah, it could actually be fatigue.
Yeah. The thing is, we haven't got options there, have we? Especially
that's the problem.
left back, we haven't got them options to switch it up, which is.
Yeah, I think we've got two decently defensive fullbacks.
I disagree respectfully. Right
decent,
back,
not great, not great, but decent defensive.
I don't want to say, but right back, we arguably have one of the worst right backs in the Premier League. That you can't get debate. I'm not even saying this. I'm not like genuinely.
Trust me, I'm not a Woody fan, but he does a decent job. He's not great, by the way. But what I mean is, like, the way we're playing, we need our fullbacks going forward to allow our wingers to have more space, and this is the reason why. Right. Wilf and the Olise are getting doubled and triple teamed because our fullbacks don't overlap, and it's becoming a problem.
Yeah, and I think that's why I think that's why Olise kind of had a quiet first half because you saw it. It was too easy. It's too predictable. He gets the ball and fair enough to him. He beat 2-3 players at times, but he doesn't really have to support. He doesn't have the overlapping fullback, and that's why I feel like when we do get that fullback down the right hand side. it will help. It will help us going forward. But as
Help
you
him
said,
a
look,
lot,
I don't
yeah.
want to go into Wardy because end of the day, it's not his fault that we're in this position. Like, you know, he's not a consistent. He shouldn't be. Well, I don't think that he should be a consistent Premier League starter. I feel like we can do better than that. But you know, despite that, it's just I don't know. It's just it is what it is. You know, he's going to be targeted, and we have to just stick with it. But let's Stan, you're going to go. Any last words you want to say before you go?
Just up the Palace. Great comeback win. And obviously, even though Decore is not there on Saturday, I'm buzzing for the game. That's
You
it.
have to look forward to it. Exactly.
Awesome.
But anyway, take care, bro. See you
Cheers,
later.
lads. Cheers.
All right, bro.
And yeah, Rick, any last things that you want to say as well before you go? Any plays that you
Can we please stop going behind before we actually wake up?
No, it's fun. No, I'm enjoying this, Rich. It's good for my heart, man.
It's good for your heart. Good. Honestly, towards the second half, especially the last 10 minutes of the game when the
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, I couldn't watch.
But at least we didn't concede. You know what annoyed me? All right, cool. Just off track. You know what annoyed me? The fact we didn't go corner flag. Like I was screaming for the last 10 minutes. We just
Schlupp did it once.
Schlupp did it once, yeah.
But then I was like, how you go corner? Just keep the ball.
Right. Jordan did well. He bought us a lot of fouls though when he came on.
Did again, yeah. Good shout there, Richie. Did
it was. I think this is what you have to do. If Aye's not playing, he has. If you're winning, especially, he has to come on for the last 10 minutes or so. I think that was a very good sub because you saw it. Wins fouls, also gives support to Wardy as well. I think he's that player that has to play in the final 10 minutes because of the work that he does on and off the ball as well. But look, Rich, thank you for coming on.
No problem.
Take care, bro.
Always a pleasure talking to you, bro. Make sure to check out the Good Eyed Football guys. Palace content. They do loads as well. We're all love from here. All content love. But anyways, Rich, look, take care, bro.
All right, Rich, take care, bro.
See you later,
take care.
Okay, next up we got Luke. Hopefully Luke is ready. Luke, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Yes, Luke. So Palace 2, Wolves 1. Look, at the end we got there. It wasn't the greatest of starts, but what do you make of it?
A stressful first half. First 30 minutes we didn't play well. I feel like what we should be doing is, as you mentioned a few times, is try and get the balls to our wingers quicker. Like Mitchell and Ward, they should be playing it in front of the two wide players, and it doesn't happen too many times. Like Wilf always wants it in front of him all the time. He always does, and it's the same with Olise. Put it in front of him. We just keep passing back all the time. That's what happened in the first half. But second half, we picked it up. We turned it on another level, and some of the football just seen in the second half was just. I think it was some of the best football I've seen this season in the second half. The way we just passed it around, and then we got the ball out wide. Wilf took on a couple of men, and it's just nice to see a win, really, with the 3 points.
Exactly. A win was needed. Well, not needed, but it was huge today because now you're looking up the table rather than down. You're looking at who can we catch up with a point against Everton or with a win against Everton. It's that momentum now, but it's also important that we keep it up, you know, with a good result against Everton. Do you think that we will be able to do that after the second half performance that we saw today?
Everton will be tricky. They got a good backing at Goodison Park.
3-0 Palace, Luke. 3-0 Palace.
3-0. Yeah. I'm going to go for 2-1. 2-1 to Palace.
All right.
2-1.
I think it will be a tight game. But also other players today, who was you most impressed with? There's good shouts there. You talked about Wilf in the second half compared to the first half. Would you like to see him play more centrally? Because it's been 2 games in a row, or is it just a case of 2 games he's been struggling out wide? Teams have done a good job, and you still keep him out wide and maybe change it in game and not start with Wilf centrally.
I think with Wilf, I think you play him and Edouard, play them together, like let them alternate. So what I've noticed in the second half, what I noticed is that Wilf and Edouard were switching. Like Edouard was going on
Yeah.
to the left, and then Wilf was coming in centrally. So I'll keep Edouard in there so they can keep alternating. And it's the same with Olise. They alternate. I didn't see Olise alternate much with Wilf because Olise didn't go much onto the left-hand side.
It was more Ebbs and Wilf and Edouard. I saw it at times where Wilf went out wide kind of thing and Eze was central at some points of the game as well. Right. So it was that kind of link-up play down that left-hand side. That comes with fluidity. Do you think it was a case of we weren't as fluid enough in the first half? Because in the second half, you saw them movements that we didn't see in the first half.
We were fluid in passing, but the movement, we wasn't fluid enough. Like with the movement, we're always strong down the left-hand side. We always are. Down the right, we're not as strong. But when we're kicking up towards the Homesdale end, it's like we're always strong on the right-hand side. I've always noticed that a lot.
Maybe it's us growing into the game. I'm not too sure. I think it's tactics as well. You saw in the second half, we did change it about and it worked much better, but I'm not too sure. But in terms of the fullbacks today, Tyreek, Mitchell, Joe Ward, what do you think of their performances? Because we saw a few comments today saying that despite the win, they weren't that great. Do you agree with that?
I agree. Mitchell was good second half, but was poor in the first half. Ward, it was just a mix of everything, really. I think Ward was caught out a few times for pace. We all know he's slow. Mitchell, I think he's tired. Maybe rest him. Maybe bring in Gyro at left back. I mean, like Gyro is all right at left back. I think he did a good job when he came on against Leicester. So he can do a job there, and it's the same with just hopefully Klein just comes back. Really, I think we do need Klein, don't we?
Yeah, you can see that we're missing him because even if there's an injury with Wardy, who plays right back, honestly don't know. We've literally got no other options of back on the top of my head right now. I can't. We'll be lost.
Maybe Richards.
Yeah, maybe that's if he's fit. I mean, Richards.
Yeah, he's injured. He won't be back.
He's out injured. So we're very. First of all, we're struggling as it is, and if there's any other problems, Woody got yellow card today. If there's any other problems, then it's not looking good. But in the next game, Doucouré is not going to be playing. In the midfield today, you can have that discussion. Was it still good enough apart from Doucouré? Was something missing? Next game, Doucouré is not going to be there. Who do you think Vieira will start ahead of Doucouré?
Hopefully Will Hughes. I'm hoping that he's back fit.
So you would have him ahead of Luca? Because Luca, it has been the player that Vieira has. Every time Doucouré does come off, it seems like he prefers Luca in that role.
Luca didn't come on today. Gyro came on, surprisingly. Maybe
saving him for Everton. That's why he's saving him.
Or maybe just giving him some minutes. Maybe.
I love him. I'm glad he came on. So.
I would if Will Hughes is fit. I'll play Shoes. I'll play the 4-2-3-1, and I'll play Shoes and Gyro together, both the sixes. And then you push Eze further forward a little bit.
Yeah,
I think the simple thing is to play Luca with Eze and Olise and put an Ayew back wide. And then if it doesn't work out, put Ayew in the middle. Yeah. Don't overcomplicate it. You can't put Gyro and Luca in there. They haven't played together all season. I mean, it's too much to do in one. Just put Olise back in the middle with Eze and put Luca behind Lucas in front back four.
And realistically, I just don't see him making them change. I think Luca comes in.
A lot of changes.
Based on what we've seen, exactly.
Right,
I just think Luca comes in. I think Olise, based on today's
probably
result,
Schlupp too will stay in there too, by the way. So
yeah, we don't really have many other options.
Schlupp was not bad today. He put in a good shift.
He weren't good, Luke, from the TV. He weren't good. Sorry, he weren't good. I mean
at the ground,
he weren't good.
What do you like about Schlupp's game then? Because I today it was similar to Leicester. At times he went forward and he just got beaten so easily.
I was in the stadium. He put in a massive shift. I think he did very well. I think he needs to be sort of playing a bit more. Maybe just go further forward a little bit. Like he's playing a bit more defensive. In the second half, he was going forward more.
Yeah, could be. That's a good shout. It's a good shout. For me, out of the midfield three, I think he was the quietest. But then again, Ebbs in the first half wasn't that great. In the second half, he got a bit more involved. So look, you can argue with other players as well. Of course, we have these without us knowing. Like in our heads, we know that Schlupp hasn't been performing great. So as soon as he plays in midfield, our focuses are on Schlupp, and then we just focus on all game. As soon as he makes a mistake, then we're like, oh, he's had a bad game. But it's interesting that you think that Schlupp's had a fairly decent game.
Well, Luke, it's a good shout. I'm looking at the stats, right? He had 13 recoveries, the most in the game by any player. So putting the shift is the right way to put it, because I can't believe I looked at it now. He had 13 recoveries. That's double the amount that Decore had. So obviously he must have done more than So good shot, man. Good shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luke, thank you for coming on. Have your say. Sorry about the wait as well.
No, it's fine.
Hopefully have you on after the Everton game as well.
Thank you for having me.
Take care, man.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, take care.
That was Luke. Now we got T. What's going on?
Light time.
We've done it.
Light
We've done
time.
it. Where are you, man? There's sun
Man,
out there.
Where are you?
Well, you're over in America. I know that, but what are you doing? You in the garden?
had to come visit some family, man. So I was
Oh.
I've been in the car for the past 45 minutes just listening to you guys, but had to tap in with you real quick.
Why would you do that?
Because Patrick, I'm with you, man. 3-0 Palace.
Yeah, my man.
I'm with you,
my
baby.
man T.
You know what time it is.
What do you make of today's game, T? Look, once again, we go behind, manage to win the game. Of course, it's a risky approach. It does work. But at the end, we got there. Yeah. We did get there. We did get a win at home. Massive win for us. What did you make of the game?
Absolutely. Man, it was tough because we actually played pretty well in the first half, and then they got that goal kind of against the run of play.
Yeah.
So which was unfortunate, but I think we made the right adjustments in the second half, playing with Wilf and Olise more inverted, because they were definitely doubling them every time they got it out on the wing. So having them come inside, and then usually it looked like they were having like either Eze or Schlupp on the other side, kind of getting to that outside channel a little bit, kind of inverting them. I like that, the way we did that, because then guys like Wolf could pick up the ball and he didn't have to worry about that double team, or the double team couldn't affect him as much in the middle of the pitch compared to out in the wing. Yeah. So that was a huge adjustment for us. I mean, that literally changed the complexion of the entire match, because we had better ball retention, we were getting better chances, shots, goals, everything. So
I agree, but I'm thinking in my head, I'm leaning towards it, T. I'm leaning towards, I want to see Wilf play more central. I don't know, maybe it was just this game, but the freedom that he has in central areas, we saw in the second half, it's massive. It's massive. He can float in and around that. He can still go out wide, but he could also take the ball, give it to Olise. He doesn't have that freedom when he's playing out wide, because if he does, then that space is just going to be completely wide open. Do you think going forward, Vieira might change it about after how good it worked today?
I mean, I kind of like the way. I mean, if we do it the same way that we did today, I'd be fine with it, where we can almost let him be a roaming flank, to where he can just find his way into the center of the pitch and pick up the ball as needed. As long as our central midfielders have the understanding of, hey, when Wilf drifts in, you guys gotta replace and kind of overlap into that channel, or because I don't think having Tyrant get too far up the pitch will be a good thing in case we do lose the ball. So I think that's just fine. I mean, inverting those wingers like that, it helps us a lot, because I think right now the main thing that teams have for us in trying to combat our wide attackers is just doubling. So invert them, bring them inside, and let's see how they deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have any problem with us playing the way that we did today. And honestly, it might be better for us to do that against Everton, because we're going to need a better presence in the center of the pitch now without having Decore in there too.
I think that's the interesting bit about it. Of course, we're going to talk about it in the preview show, but I would maybe keep Wilf out wide against Everton, because I feel like in the central areas, they're better defensively than out wide. I feel like the fullbacks, you could target them, especially Coleman. I mean, Wilf against Coleman makes more sense.
I think you could target their whole back line, if I'm being completely honest.
Here's the thing, though. I looked at the lineup for the last game against Tottenham. They played 3-5. in the back. They play 3-5-2. So they play
But
wing back.
I think they adjusted to Tottenham more than anything.
Well, I'm just saying, though, if they go, right, I mean, I'm sure they go back to a 4-4-2. And you're right, Coleman is a plumber you could target. They got Mikalenko on one side. They have Connor Cody in the middle with Tarkowski. Edward.
I don't fear any of those guys. I think we'll give them more problems than otherwise.
Yeah,
more problems than Tottenham.
I think that we'll give them problems. I don't think that they're anything to be worried about. That's what I mean.
I got you.
There was one change today, There was one change today, that many people were calling for, including me, that Olise has to start. He did start in this game. What did you think about his performance? After considering that we only had one shot on target against Leicester, and then he brings back on Olise, do you think it was a case of, once again, with him coming on the pitch, it just creates a problem because you saw it? Well, T disagrees, man. I hear that.
It's easy math.
Yeah,
it's easy math, man. You get a guy out there that's a creative player that has the opportunity to create more chances for us. What does he come out and do? He gets an assist for us today with that beautiful ball to Eze.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's what you're getting with him. So I think it was just a simple decision to make. If we want to have a better chance of going forward, getting opportunities, scoring goals, creating chances, he's the guy you put in there. You know what I mean? I think that it was the necessary move. It was the right move, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was needed. And I don't know. Only time will tell. I don't know if it's a coincidence. I don't think so. Of course, Patrick wanted us to talk about the goal that we conceded. Maybe could have done better. I need to watch it back.
No. There's no maybe. He did not track back. I mean, just be fair. I'll give him credit for the assist and the second half. But he didn't track back, so it's just being fair. If
that's the case, I mean, at least he came back and redeemed himself in the second half.
I agree, totally, yeah. Had he not, then it's different. We're talking about something different. But you're right,
exactly.
So I agree.
Yeah, look, that's yeah. Okay. I need to watch it back. Because Patrick, of course, you watch on TV, maybe you saw it.
Do. Watch it back.
The first thing that caught my eye was where's Joe Ward, and he was so crazy central. I need to know why exactly he was there because he just seemed like he was
100% right. But again, Bueno is a left fullback. He's not the midfielder. That's Olise's man to track back. He was barking the entire game, so. Up to that point, so why would it switch off? I agree. Joe was out of position, so Joe was at fault. But again, I'm going to blame Olise first and then Mitchell second for that goal. It's not Ward's fault because we can always blame Ward for other stuff, but it's not fair, baby. It's just not fair.
I think what annoyed me the most about the goal that we conceded was that it was such a avoid. Like we could have avoided that. It was not a good goal to concede, and that's what annoyed me. Like at halftime, I'm just thinking about myself. I'm just looking at the league table. I'm looking at where we are, just thinking. Like I didn't know. Like, of course, we can play good in the second half, but it just wasn't looking good in the first half. Second half, of course, we bounced back. But we didn't really talk. We haven't really spoke about them as much today. Joachim Andersen and Mark Gay, but I felt like they've done a solid job. Despite conceding a goal, the partnership is growing. It's growing by the game. Joachim Andersen spoke about it before the game.
About it. Yep, both of them did.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. He spoke about it. He said how. As the games are going on, we're knowing each other a bit more better. And you saw it. You saw it once again in this game. Joachim Andersen was solid and Mark Gay next to him. Both of them, like glue. You ain't going past them.
Yeah, man. I mean, those two, man, like, those two are really building something together, man. Like, I don't take it lightly when I say that they could be the best center back pairing we've ever had. Like, they're approaching that, I'd say. They're getting to that conversation. Let me say. I mean, those two, as far as their talent defensively, their ability to pass the ball, their ability to dribble the ball, like they are definitely a force to be reckoned with back there in the center. And we're extremely fortunate to have those dudes. I mean, kudos to Dougie and Patrick for finding those quality of players, being able to bring them in.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's great bit of business that we're seeing the return so far this season, especially with Joachim Andersen, whose game has improved as he has been playing games for us. I mean, look at Joachim last season compared to now. Different player.
Yeah,
Joachim before was a ball playing defender, But we were talking about him. Cool, he plays for Palace. He can't defend and also be very good on his feet. But
and we said he couldn't play in the air. We said he could not play in the air.
But
and
he also struggled defensively in the air.
Yeah.
And also, like, defensively, he wasn't that great for us when he first joined. But then again, his game has improved. He has become that defender. But the thing is, we're talking about we have to play Joachim Andersen without him being so good defensively because he's so good on the ball. But now he does everything. He does everything. And you know, credit to him because and the coaching staff. I don't know who's involved, but he has improved that game. Now we're talking about Joachim Andersen being so good in the air. Like
he needed a season to shake some of that Fulham relegation off of him.
Yeah,
had to shake some
maybe
of
it
that
was that. Maybe it was that. Maybe it was that. But
and one more thing though, I have to give credit to Vieira. The last 3 matches we've always complained about not seeing out matches.
Finish out the
Leeds
matches.
come back.
Yes.
Stop Leeds. Leicester didn't score on Saturday, and then today seen it out in a good way. People only criticize, we drop points. Well, the last 3 games we haven't done that.
Secure points
to the players and to Vieira for that.
Absolutely,
yeah,
100%.
I think exactly. From now onwards, that's even this game. Even though I'm mad happy about the win, I'm not getting carried away because as with the late goals conceded, it's only like 3 games or so. It's been fine, but we have to be more consistent. This should be the late goals. We're fine. Last 3 games we've been fine. We haven't been conceding them. That's going good. But with this game against Wolves, we beat them. But if we have one shot on target against Everton, then it won't be that great. So we just have to continue it onwards.
But you know something
that one second, T. Sorry.
Yeah.
1 second. You wouldn't take a 0-0 on Saturday without Doucouré though, D? Honestly, now?
Look, we'll talk about it in the match preview.
Okay. Fair enough.
The one thing I do want to say is as far as like the conversation about seeing matches out. The one thing that you have to notice from these matches where we've seen it out and gotten victories is the fact that Vieira hasn't tried to change everything up. He hasn't tried to reinvent the wheel with the formation or the amount of the what we're doing tactically. He's riding it out and saying, "Hey, this is what's working. Keep playing. Keep doing what we're doing." And that sets us up to even I felt at times in this match that we might add a third just because of the fact that we kept pressing. We kept possession a good amount of time. Like we still had that threat of getting a third goal. So I think that's a big adjustment in itself, not over adjusting. You know what I'm saying? Not saying, "Oh, let's go to 5 at the back." Oh, let's go to a 4-5-1.
You're right. That's a great point.
And give credit to the players as well because from what I've seen even today, we're grinding it out. Like
exactly.
It seemed like we've switched it on before. As we've seen, we're talking about we didn't mark the crosser. We conceded last minute goal from a header. But now I'm seeing the players like Mateta was there in the final minutes of the game. Everyone is grinding it out, and that's what I like. But we have to continue it. I think we'll be fine from here onwards. I don't want to jinx it, but I think we will because we've had these mistakes with last minute goals conceded so many times that now it's just automatically switched on now. Like we know that it's holding us back and we're seeing it with the players as well. But look, T, any other things that you want to say from the game?
Nah, man. Looking forward to the match preview and bring on Saturday, man. Up to Palace.
Yeah, bring on Saturday as well. Come on. That was T there. Having to say, look, he's despite him not being on the show and sitting in the car, he comes on. He's just a legend. He don't leave us alone.
Wait a minute, I did it on Sunday. You made fun of me on Saturday. I did it from I'm glad of you, man. You're a clown, man. You're a clown. Now you're clowning me, bro.
Agenda.
Exactly. The agenda. Never agenda.
I got agenda for everything. According to Patrick, it's agenda for everything. But look, Patrick, you was at fan zone. That's why I was like, come on, man, enjoy yourself. We got here, man. But look, nah, man, Patrick. I'll talk to you more than my family. So trust me.
I love you, bro, man. I love you, bro.
I love you too, man. I love you too. I love you too when Palace win. When Palace don't win, you can get lost.
At least you're honest about it. I like that. At least you're
exactly.
honest.
But look, Patrick, it's been good seeing everyone in the comment section. We've had a good time today, man. We've had a good time. But any last words that you want to say? Of course, we'll talk about the game. We'll have player ratings after this. So if you're new here, subscribe so you don't miss out on that and like the video as well if you've been enjoying it. Any other last words you want to say? I feel like everyone's pretty much summed it up.
No, I just want to say thanks to everybody in the chat. You know, Jamal, Film Review, Richard Greenwood, Tim Davis, David Rumble, Chloe, Francesca, everybody. We appreciate you guys tuning in today. I mean, you can't do this without you guys' input, you know. So again, please remember to, you know, like, subscribe, and everything. But no, D, I'm happy, man. It's a Palace win. I know you don't like baseball, but the Yankees are winning too. So it's a great day for me, man. I'm in heaven, sports heaven today. Cannot be happier. Sports heaven.
Yeah,
bro.
look,
NBA starts today, doesn't it?
Yeah, NBA. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, I just remembered.
Exactly, NBA starts as well. Yeah, exactly. I forgot about. I'll be honest. At halftime, I was like, "What a time for the NBA to start!" Because I thought we're gonna lose this game. So I was like, "Yeah, great. I can focus on the NBA again."
And lastly, this one, bun Everton, man.
Everton.
Bottom up, man. I agree.
All right, cool. Let's wrap this up now because we've got player ratings to record as well. Thanks to everyone who has joined us. Even if you haven't left a comment, if you've been watching as well, we appreciate every single one of you. Of course, we talk here, but we love your feedback as well. This is your channel as much as it is ours. Everyone come on and have their say. AJ spitting facts on and off the show as well. Baseball,
killing me, bro. You're killing me, bro.
Cricket.
You're killing me.
AJ, you know what it is? You know what it is? Just let's be honest. American football. They copy
everything.
Here.
Basketball?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that copy?
Basketball.
Okay.
I watch basketball because it's
I know you do.
original. Other than that, you just copy everything that's over here. But look, anyway.
That's netball. It's netball for men. That's what it is.
Look, anyways, thanks to everyone who's watched it. Make sure to check out the player ratings, which should be dropping tomorrow afternoon, midday UK time. That's it from me, Patrick. Thanks to everyone who joined us. Thanks to everyone who left comments.
Thank you.
And until next time, up the Palace.
Eagles!
Woo!